Good evening. This is either my last or second to last stream for 2022. And the biggest thing that happened for me in 2022 is completing my collection of lightsaber parts. And now they went and released a bunch more, and I have no plan for getting them yet because they're expensive. So, yeah, I'll have to figure out how to get those new parts. But let's have one final lightsaber stream of the year. So, standard rules apply. I won't do the same color twice in a row. I won't do the same creature twice in a row. But any other parts can, um, but any creature or crystal can appear as many times as it wants as long as they're non-consecutive. All other parts, there is no rule on consecutive. I do have my randomized list. However, I'm not doing the randomized list on camera today. I wanted to make a I wanted to put more focus on the camera itself. So let's switch over to the camera. And if I look like I'm not looking directly at the camera, that's because I have parts all over the desk. I have my list on the other screen. So my attention will be all over the place in this area. And Grogu joined us today. But he can't sit up there when we're actually building lightsabers. It's too dangerous, and he'll probably fall off. So, in fact, let's take him off now. You got to see him for a minute. We'll put him right over here. He can watch. He can watch us build our lightsabers. And I will welcome any design requests in chat. But I'm not looking outside of stream stuff today, so if you put your design request in a comment on the Facebook or the Reddit, I won't see that, and that's your design isn't going to happen. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start with a green lightsaber today. Let's see, which switch do I want to do? I'd like to use this switch for this first saber. I don't use the switch a lot, so it's worth having a little bit of extra attention right now. And my parts are a little bit cold because my storage unit is the storage unit where I keep my lightsaber parts is right by the door to the outside. And we're dog sitting today, which means that door has been opening a lot today. Grips. We will use this grip on top. And this is the one where you can see the LEDs through the little red windows. But I'm not sure if that will come out on camera or not. Yeah, I didn't have that lined up right. In order to have this lined up to see the LEDs, it can't be tight. So yeah, all my parts are varying degrees of loose-ish. That's not too bad, and the top piece will help hold it in place. I'm not sure if that's coming up on camera at all. No, we're right in the glare. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this, are you? Yeah, I can barely see it from here. And I don't have glare right on it. But yeah, on this particular power and control sleeve, these little red highlights are actually little windows, and you can see the flashing LED. It's the only sleeve in Generation 1 that has that. What's my other sleeve? For the bottom sleeve, we're going to use this one. Lots of detail on this one. And I don't think I gave you a good look at the top sleeve. There it is. These are two of my favorite sleeves because of all the detailing. The emitter. Ooh. This will be our emitter. I actually attempted to wear my Halloween costume today because it's Star Wars related. Unfortunately, I was having issues getting it to align correctly. So I decided it wasn't worth the hassle just for a stream. But I'll try and wear it on a future lightsaber stream. And the pommel will be this one. One of the more simple ones, but sometimes simple is best. We've got so much detail on this saber already. Let's get that off the desk because its light was coming off on the lightsaber. All right, this is our first saber. An interesting mix of parts here. You got a little bit of dark side, quite a bit of light side, a little bit of ancient mystery in there. But overall, not a coherent design, but not bad. Let's light it up. I wish I could do these saber streams with the light off, because the lightsaber looks really good with the light off. All right. And already I'm dropping things. So one last look at this one. I'll take it apart and I'll prepare to do the next one and see what I dropped. And removing the power pack. And what did I drop? My goal for each saber stream is to do at least one of each color. So a minimum 6. Sometimes I go more, sometimes I go less. I mean, I haven't gone less on a stream, but some streams I've capped at 7. All right, what do I want to build next? All right, we're going to use the white crystal. We're going to use, oh, that's cool. We're going to use this switch. So let me go ahead and get that on here real quick. Oh, I just did that all off camera. And the white core is the one I have where sometimes it's a little tight putting the switches on. The grips will be this one. So we're going to use this as the top grip from Nature with the swirls and the wood pieces. And the wood is actually a Brylark wood from Kashyyyk, the Wookiee planet. The wood is as strong as metal, and we're going to use this one for our bottom sleeve. The emitter, oh, that's cool. We're going to put on this emitter. And the pommel is going to be, we're going to use this one. So we've got a mix of Peace and Justice, the Jedi lightsaber, but with some elements from Power and Control, and a piece of nature as well. This is an interesting mix right here. I don't think it's a cohesive mix, but it sure is an interesting one. And it's not bad. It's definitely a unique combination. Let's light it up. And it's not coming out on camera, but there is a slight issue with my blade. With this particular blade, I actually have 6 of them, but this is my shorter one, which is why I use this one for the stream. If I use my regular length one, I'll be hitting the ceiling. There's a part of the ceiling that's a little lower over my stream setup, so I don't want to use the longer ones. But there's actually a little band, LED band, where it's miscolored, and it's visible. The band is visible on 3 or 4 of the 6 lightsaber colors. I forget which 2 you can't really see the miscolored band on, but on white it's really prominent. There's a little band of yellow right there, but it's not coming out on camera because the light messes with the camera. I do like white lightsabers though. Alright. Let's start working on our 3rd lightsaber. Well, we gotta take this one apart first. And I have a system in place to let me know when we've done all 6 colors, because once we hit that point, I can end stream anytime after that. But I really want to try and do as many as I feel like tonight, so... Because after tonight, I only get to make 6 more lightsabers this year. And that's my weekly lightsaber post on Saturday. When on Saturdays, I post 6 lightsabers that I do each week, 1 of each color. Alright, let's do that. Alright. Now let's see what I want to do for the 3rd one. We'll do purple for this lightsaber. I used to have a problem with so many custom purple lightsabers just because they were rare in the lore, but then I thought about it, and it makes sense that in a lightsaber situation such as Savvy's, the purple lightsaber actually makes perfect sense. And that's a subject for another day when we go into Star Wars and Force theory, and where we just have a discussion about all things Star Wars. I could talk for like a half hour to an hour on my theory of different lightsabers and stuff. So that's a conversation for another day. Which switch do I want to use? We'll go with this is another switch I don't use often. We're going to use this switch with this nice little detail on the back. My finger's in the way. It's got this nice little detail on the back. The switches in the Generation 2 all have the theme logos on them. And I will say, I like the Generation 2 parts. I do think they're, with the exception of Peace and Justice, which is always meant to be like your average Jedi playing lightsabers. The other themes all got over-the-top decor on their new sets. Protection and defense has got even more gold and shinier than it was before. Elemental nature really played up the dead animals theme. And power and control got really spiky and evil looking. Peace and justice. Look, the parts to me seem to be themed similarly to what we've already got, but still different. I can't wait to get those new parts into my collection. For grips, we're going to do... Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do, for our grips, we're going to do these two because they look so similar. They're not identical. The silvers are a little different. And the light side version has a copper band, and even the little indentations are slightly different shapes, but in pictures they're hard to tell apart. And I always like designing sabers with these two pieces together because they always look pretty cool. That stripy effect looks pretty cool. So the emitter, we'll go with this one. And the pommel, you know what? Yeah. Let's do our Wampa pommel. Wampas are tough. I know it's hard to see because he's molded and translucent, but there is a little face there. Wampas are tough ice creatures, and it was cold outside today, so it makes perfect sense to make a Wampa lightsaber right now. Let's light it up first. I don't think I ever gave a good view of the last one, but it's already disassembled, so too late now. But here's this one with stripes and a Wampa. Purple is one of the colors I can notice the band, but the band is just a reddish purple. So it's not quite as out of place as the yellow band on the white. You'll notice each saber colored makes a different sound. Alright. We've only had one dropping incident so far this stream, and only one piece was affected, so as of now, I'm still going strong. It's not a lightsaber stream unless I accidentally drop some pieces. See, I've done so many of these random lightsabers builds and taken so many of them apart that I can now take them apart in like 30 seconds with my eyes closed. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to drop pieces, but I can. Let's do the blue one. Let's do a blue lightsaber. And let's use this switch. And this switch has the distinction of being the only switch with a window onto the crystal chamber. You can't actually see the crystal, but you can see the flash, the light in the crystal chamber. And somehow they designed the plastic so even though the window is red, the light you see is the color of the crystal rather than being redified. Is that even a word? I'm not sure if the blue light is coming out on camera though. I can't really you can see it a little bit of the blue light there. I like that effect on the switch. This switch is also a little bit narrower than the other switch pieces. It actually hugs. You can see the way it's designed. The core area is a little bit thinner, so you can put the switch around it. And this piece actually hugs the inside of the core rather than coming all the way out to the outer edge like all the other switches. So it gives this, so this particular switch gives a little bit of texture to your hilt. I like that. We've done both of those. Let's do... Let's do... Let's do this for our top sleeve, the bone sleeve. And let's do the wrap for our bottom sleeve. Both of these are from Nature. And Generation 2 includes a new wrap piece. The Rancor tooth is replaced by a bantha horn. But knowing how big banthas are, it means that to have a bantha horn on a lightsaber, it has to have been taken from a baby bantha. So I don't know how I feel about that particular piece. It looks cool, but I don't know how I feel about it because it was clearly taken from a baby. All right, we'll put this sleeve on top, this emitter on the top of it. And then the pommel, yeah, I like that. Let's do the convor. Of the creature pommels, I think this one makes the coolest looking lightsabers. Some of the creatures just don't really go with lightsabers that well. But this one, oh yeah, that's a look. I like this one. Let me try and get it on camera. This is a pretty cool looking lightsaber. Not gonna lie, this one... Yes, in actual lightsaber combat, the wings would get in the way. I've actually done posing with a convor lightsaber before, and it wasn't practical. The wings just kept getting in the way, but man, do the convor lightsabers look cool. Alright, let's light it up. You can kind of see the miscolored band on this one, except not really. On the blue, the miscolored band is just a slightly, almost unnoticeably darker patch. You have to know it's there and be looking for it to really notice it. I think it's kind of cool how the camera handles the lightsaber and actually makes the blade look real once you turn the light on. Once I switch it off, it's very obviously a fake lightsaber blade, but when you turn it on, the camera doesn't know how to handle the light and makes it look like an actual lightsaber. I like that about my webcam. All right. This is a Convor, so I'll give you another look at this one. So yeah, my record is my record is 22 lightsabers in one stream, but I'm definitely not going to make it there tonight. I'm shooting to do 2 of each color. If we do 2 of each color, I'm already a third of the way through that goal. I think that's a nice, reasonable goal to start with. Okay, did I must have. I must have loosened the crystal. I must have loosened the crystal somehow. I did swing that one a little more wildly than I normally do. Before we continue, I need to make sure that the core and crystal are working properly. Yeah, we're good. So for our crystal, I want to do a yellow lightsaber this time. Oh, we haven't heard a lot from this theme today. I want to use this switch, which is actually going to match our yellow crystal. For our sleeves, I'm going to use this one for the bottom sleeve, sometimes referred to as the Vader grip because it's similar to his lightsaber. For the top sleeve, I have a couple things I could do here, but I think we're going to go with this one for the top. And for our emitter, we'll use this one. And our pommel will be the Banthba. So that's 3 creatures in a row, which is cool with me. I like using the creature pommels. So here is this lightsaber. I think that's a pretty cool looking saber. Not totally cohesive, but it's not. Actually, the switch and this gold stripe on top kind of go together. The way the grips are on the top and the bottom kind of complement each other as well. This is actually a pretty good looking design. I like this one. This is a solid design. Let's light it up. On camera, the camera doesn't make too much of a distinction between the white and the yellow, but it's enough that you can see it's there. You can tell this is supposed to be yellow, even though it looks more off-white on camera, but it's definitely yellow out here. And I've been playing with these pieces enough that a lot of them are relatively loose, so unless I screw them on like all the way, sometimes they slide around a bit. But you know what? Give me a moment. Excuse me for 1 minute, okay? All right. So a little change of plans, everyone. I just had a little bit of an anemic spell, which is okay because I get that a lot in extreme weather, both hot and cold, and it's been pretty cold lately. But because I just had a little anemic spell, it means that I cannot really safely handle heavy objects right now. So let's build one more lightsaber because we haven't done red yet, and then I'll show you how I store these things. And I guess that'll be our stream. I have, even though the parts from each theme can be arranged any way you want, I have 2 specific sabers that I do for each theme when I put them away for storage, just because I think that certain parts look together better. So let's go ahead and do a red one real quick. And this one, I'm not going to use my randomized list. This one, I'm actually going to make it up as I go. And we actually haven't used my favorite switch here yet. I want to use this switch from the nature theme because this is the switch that I actually when I was there in Disney World building my very first lightsaber and getting my first 5 elemental nature pieces. This was the switch that I actually chose myself while I was there. So even though it's a red lightsaber, I want to go ahead and use it. And when I build lightsabers to use with my costume, I almost always choose either this switch or the red one with the window. And there, you can see I'm dropping things already. So yeah, not a good idea for me to continue with the lightsabers tonight. But I did say I wanted to do one of each color, so we'll finish that at least. And the protection and defense one with the stripes I also like a lot. So when I build lightsabers for myself, it's usually one of those 3. Ah, that's better. For the switch, I mean. Now, what grips do I want to be? You know what? 2 of my favorite grips did not come out tonight. the gold one, and the wood maze one. I call this the maze because of the way the square pattern that it's all laid out in. Which on top, though? And the emitter. What do I want to do for the emitter? Couple of good choices here that we haven't used. Actually, let's use this one. This is what I think of as the more aggressive looking emitter. I want to use this one. Okay, why isn't it going on? Why is it not going on? Because I'm putting it on the wrong end. That's why. See, that's another thing that happens when I have anemic spells, is I get confused. That's much better. Having a little indecision about the pommel. This piece we didn't use tonight, and it matches the other end. They're not the same theme, but the black and the black go together. Which pommels have we used tonight? We used, yeah. So we could go a black pommel, which is a decent look, but I'm actually going to go Rancor Tooth. The randomizer doesn't give me the Rancor Tooth often, and it's the most unique looking of the pieces you could actually get from Savvy's. Although not for long, because, like I said, new parts. All four themes have been given the new parts at West, in California, in Florida. None of the themes have switched over yet. So if you want to get a Rancor Tooth, you've got a little bit of time left to do so. But since they're not announcing when the new parts are dropping, I don't know how much time you have to get it. So get your reservations in East now if you want your Rancor Tooth. If not, there's always eBay, where the price will be very marked up later because of the parts refresh. You won't be able to get it anymore. I have a feeling Gen 1 parts will go up a lot. I see we have a bit of a spammer in chat. Hold on a minute. I'm having trouble even reading my computer screen right now because, yeah, sometimes my vision goes a bit blurry when I have after an anemic spell. So I couldn't even read what was going on there. I'm not going to mod that just because I have no other viewers right now, but yeah. This is this design I did without the help of the randomizer, using some of my favorite pieces. Yeah, it's a weird mix of pieces. It doesn't, the top two pieces don't really go with what I've done on the bottom. From the switch down, it's a single theme. The top two pieces are both different themes. It's an interesting mix of parts for sure. One of the more unique looking sabers I have made. There's a reason why these are some of my favorite pieces. And there's our red saber. Red, traditionally associated with dark side, the bad guys. Am I evil for mixing themes like this? Who knows? Or is it the will of the Force? One will never know. All right. So that does it for actually... That does it for building sabers. So now I'm going to show you how I put these things away. Once I get it all apart. Hold on a second. Need to grab something from over here, the off-camera area. All right. All right. Sorry we're cutting things short today. Health comes first, but at least we got some lightsabers done, right? All right, so what I do is I take the saber and I take the core, I take out the power pack, I leave the crystal in for storage. With the power pack out, it's not going to do any of that notorious standby draining that these cores are known for, because with the battery pack out, there's no battery inside to be drained. And then I just start putting parts on for storage. So and you may ask, and I basically do this a bunch of times because I have a bunch of cores here. Where did I put down that battery pack? Yeah, that's in the way right there. Let's put that over here. So I store with the battery packs removed. So what I do is I put the parts on. And I find they take up a lot less space in the storage drawer when they're put together than when they're separated into a bunch of different pieces. So I'll do the same for the other sabers. And you may ask here, there's 4 themes and two sabers worth of parts in each theme, but only 6 cores, right? You could build 8 sabers at a time with the parts laid out, but I only have 6 cores. Well, what's the solution to that? Do I just put 2 lightsabers worth in the drawer? Do I put 2 lightsabers worth into the drawer as just loose pieces? No, actually. There's an artist on Etsy who builds these 3D printed display cores. There's no electronics, no battery packs, no crystal chamber, but you just attach the pieces onto this as you would a normal core. And this is perfect for display without having the battery pack inside to drain the core. So I picked up 2 of these so that I have 8 cores worth of storage space, which worked out well for me. So Yeah, these are the ones I need to get out of the way over here in order to have space to put everything down. So yeah, I'll show you. You just attach your pieces to this as normal. And since there's no electronics, no crystal, nowhere to put a blade in, it's just for display. I forgot to show you. So these are my default power and control lightsabers. My primary, the one when I do power and control, I use this design for my left hand. And then this is my secondary power and control that when I dual wield, I use in my right hand. I'm working on storing peace and justice right now. Let me go ahead and finish. And I don't really care if this part is slightly off camera because I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. I'm still feeling after effects from that little, so I want to get these put together as quickly as possible so that I can go over to my drawer after stream, put them in, and get in bed. So for peace and justice, this is my primary. This is my peace and justice primary that I use in the left hand, and my secondary that I use in the right hand. And you'll notice these are the ones I did on the display chassis. You can see there's nowhere to insert a blade. But the artist actually has like 16 different symbols that, or patterns that you can put on the end there where the emitter comes through. All right. So now let's keep putting things away. Yeah. No way I was going to hit my record tonight, even if that little episode didn't happen. Hopefully, but I guess I've learned a lesson not to do saber streams on days of extreme temperatures. Will I remember that next time? Probably not. But as you can see, as you can hear, I've just crashed some pieces on my desk again. So yeah, definitely a good thing that we're packing up early tonight. So yeah, even though it's a little bit of extra work, even though it's a little bit of extra work, it takes up less space. So that's why I build the default sabers. And sometimes when I do the weekly sabers, since I like making sure that each saber, even though sometimes I do them per day, I only post them weekly, so sometimes I do them in a batch. And I like using different pieces for each one. So sometimes I'll just leave them assembled as is and just take out the batteries for storage if I'm doing a batch that week. So here's my primary elemental lightsaber. And this is, with the exception of the emitter, this is actually the one that I built while I was in Disney. I used the other emitter. This is my secondary. After I got this emitter, I realized that the other emitter, this one, which I had originally gotten, worked better with these pieces. So this is my secondary elemental nature. You can see with all the swirly patterns on it. All right, just gotta make two more. I gotta make two more storage sabers. Pull out the battery pack. We didn't use this switch today. I don't get to use every piece every time, and that's gonna be even more of a. That's gonna be even more of an unfortunate after I get the new parts. All right, last battery pack out. At least I got to do each color once. Plus, I'm doing this part sitting down. Well, I did the whole stream sitting down. What am I doing? I'm forgetting the sleeves. Why is that not going on properly? I didn't put that on right. There we go. So, for protection and defense, here's my primary with all the gold accents on it. And here's my secondary, which has some, but not as many gold accents. All right. Here's the battery pack. The battery pack also contains the speaker unit. There's 6 of those. I always store them outside. And then for the creatures, here's Convor again. For the creatures, they come on these little bases because when they're not being used as lightsaber pommels, the creatures are meant to be display pieces, like figurines or little statuettes. When I do the stream, I always take them off the bases just for quicker access. When I do the weekly batch, I don't take them off unless I'm going to use them. So here's the Bantha, which you also saw today. I know it's a Bantha, but I call it the Banthba because each of them has a little Orabesh on the back. And on the Bantha, they typoed it, and it actually says Banthba. So, and here's the Wampa, the other one you saw today. And then here's a couple that we didn't get to today. They have a Rancor. Hold on. Not only am I anemic, but yeah, no, that's not good. Yeah, let's wrap this up. So Rancor. We have a Lothcat. And we have a Porg. The randomizer never gives me the Porg, unfortunately. Porg lightsabers are so cool because the Porg is like the last creature you would associate with a lightsaber. Although they were the creatures on those ancient Jedi ruins that Luke was hiding out in during the sequel trilogy. So maybe the Porgs have a stronger connection to lightsabers than it looks, but yeah. So yeah, I guess while we're here, I guess I can also show you Grogu, who we saw at the beginning of stream. He actually has a couple of friends that came home with him. Figment was the very first piece of merchandise that I bought on this Disney trip. And Tinkerbell is the very last piece of merch that I bought. So, yeah, Disney is very big on the shoulder plushies right now. In addition to these three, I also saw Baby Groot, Orange Bird, Porgs in 2 different colors. There was a Remy from Ratatouille, and a couple of others. So Disney's big on the shoulder plushies right now. So yeah, one last look at the trio. Wow. And let's go ahead and wrap stream. Who is there to raid tonight? The person I was going to raid went offline already. Ah, Composy's on. She's a good music show. Alright, let's raid, and I'll see you soon. Have a good night, and I'll probably have one more stream this week, and then I'll see you next year. Alright, have a good night. And sorry we had to cut it short. We'll definitely be doing more lightsabers into the new year, and hopefully I'll be able to start getting the parts. And sorry we had to cut it. Have a good night. Hopefully I'll be able. Have a good night.
What do you mean? Just the broken toys. I was like, sweetie, I love them. You know, people are broken toys. And then that came out. Uncle Evie! Welcome in. You made it just in time for a brand new set.